Hey guys, it's Melanie. Happy Thursday. So today I thought it might be kind of a good opportunity for a chit chat video that centers around my hair. So today I'm going to be giving you guys my own personal pros and cons of choosing to go gray. If you are new to my channel, you might think that I actually do this to my hair on purpose. I do not. I made the decision to go gray several years ago, and really truly it was the best decision of my life. If you are not new to my channel, you have seen several videos where I talk about why exactly I decided to go gray, how I maintain my gray hair, so the products that I use. I'll kind of briefly maybe touch on some of that stuff in this video, but for the most part today is just sharing with you what I have experienced throughout the process that was both good, and then, you know, there's also some not so good stuff that comes along with this as well. It is definitely a journey. I will say I have never once regretted growing my hair out and choosing to embrace this gray hair. It was really truly the very best thing that I have done in terms of my beauty life, besides stepping up my skincare game. So I made some notes on some pros and some cons. So just to be able to share with you guys my own experience, and maybe to give some of you who are thinking about making the transition just a boost. Because honestly, if this is something that you want to do, I think you should just do it. You know, certainly other people's opinions can come into the mix, which I will talk about when we get to the cons portion. But really, truly, if this is something that a journey that you want to go on, I would say go for it, 100%. Really, truly, it was the best thing that I've ever done. So I'm gonna start with the pros, because it's always good to get started with the positives of any situation, I feel like. So the very first positive of going gray was that I didn't have to color my hair anymore. So duh, right? But that is a huge positive for a few reasons. One, frees up a lot of time. Two, this is much less expensive, because this just is what it is. I am no longer paying someone to color my hair every 6 weeks. I am no longer going to the drugstore to pick up boxed dye to color my hair on my own every 6 weeks, because the former was so expensive. I finally was like, I gotta start doing this on my own. I don't have to color my hair anymore, and that is amazing. Another thing that comes along with not coloring my hair anymore is that, and this is a huge pro for me, my hair actually feels super healthy now. There have been some changes that could be perceived as a negative, and I will touch on those in the cons, but for the most part, my hair is so much healthier. Not bleaching it and trying to cover up that little line of gray that I had along my part really has allowed my hair to grow in naturally, and really hair in its natural state is probably the most healthy hair, right? If you are not altering your hair color by bleaching it or adding color to it, that really is the best thing for your hair. And my hair feels soft. It doesn't break as easily. So split ends aren't really that big of a deal for me anymore. I don't have my hair falling out the way that it used to from, you know, breakage and things like that. When I look at my hairbrush, I still lose hair. Everybody loses hair every single day when you're brushing your hair, but it is not nearly the amount of hair that I used to use. So as a result, my hair is actually a little bit thicker now because I'm not losing as much of it. So just healthier, thicker, because I have pretty fine, thin hair. is definitely a huge benefit for me. It has definitely increased my confidence in myself. I don't know why. I thought at first that I would be really self-conscious about it, and this is something that probably also just comes with age. I am 41 now. I just care a lot less what people think, and I just have a lot more natural confidence. But walking around with gray hair and owning it really is an amazing confidence booster, you guys. And I'm not saying you're immediately going to start feeling like you're a rock star, but over time you will notice that you just are a lot more comfortable with yourself. Like you're just embracing what is there. Now, that being said, if you choose to color your hair because that is what gives you confidence, then do that. Like if you're coloring your hair because of that and it helps you out, then continue to do that. But I'm just saying, for me personally, I'm actually a lot more confident now with my gray hair than I ever was with the blonde hair. By the way, I was born a blonde, but I started growing gray right around 25 is when I started really noticing it. So I had to start coloring my hair blonde to try to maintain what I was born with. And the blonde, some of you guys who have been around for a while know that the shade of blonde that I had was just not natural. And I think a lot of that probably had to do with me stopping going to the salon and doing it for myself at home. Not great. It was like day glow blonde. It was so obnoxious, really, really obnoxious. Another thing that is a total pro for me is that people freaking love it. There are some people that don't get me wrong. Like I get comments sometimes telling me that it ages me, that I look so much older than I probably actually am, and it makes me look washed out and this and that. But for the most part, when I am out in public, I get so many compliments from people. I'm always surprised that people stop me at the grocery store and like want to talk about my hair, because it is just the most random people. Like it's grandmas, like 80-year-old grandmas who are like, high five, like good for you for doing that now. It took me years to finally let it go, to moms who are like, I'm tired of coloring my hair. Like, how did you get this? And people will ask me like, who does your hair? Like, what salon do you go to so that I can get that color? And a lot of times people are really surprised that, I tell them this is my natural color. Like I kind of joke that this is just my bad genetics, right? Like I don't pay for this. And some people are like, I can't believe that is like your natural color. And I love that, because the thing is, like, it grew in as you see it right now. There is still some dirty blonde mixed in there. It's not 100% gray, but I've got some white, like around my temples. You can see it's a lot lighter. Like there's just a lot of variations in my hair, but it just looks cool. And I like that I just decided to let it do whatever it's gonna do. Like, yes, I play with fun colors from time to time, but those wash out very easily. Luckily, and this is another, I guess, pro that I didn't really put on my list here originally, was I can still play with fun colors like purple. More recently, I tried the blue. I want to try pink next spring. My gray hair doesn't hold color very well at all, and so it washes away very quickly. So if it's something that it turns out I don't like, or I don't want to have it for very long, all I have to do is stop using the product that I'm using. The one that I really like, that works the best for my hair, is the Cara color. I will link it down below. I will also link my favorite purple shampoo and conditioner down below as well. That helps me to maintain this kind of nice, non-brassy gray hair, because that is something that you have to think about. You have to make sure that you are using the proper products on your gray hair. It can get yellow, it can kind of get dirty looking from time to time, and you do have to use a toning shampoo and conditioner. That's usually enough for me to help to maintain a more like clean looking gray, if that makes sense. But yeah, I can play with the fun colors and then they wash out very quickly, and then I can go back to my gray hair, and I love that. I also don't have to think about my hair anymore. Like, that's probably the biggest thing. Really, the only thing that I have to think about when it comes to my hair, and the only thing that I really have to spend money on now when it comes to my hair, are my styling products, and I love to play with those. And I obviously have to have a good toning shampoo and conditioner, which I'll put in below in the description box. But I don't have to spend money on coloring my hair anymore. And it really is something that takes, like, it just takes the thought out of my hair. Like, I pay to have someone cut my hair, and I go to a hairdresser that's kind of expensive just because I've been with her for a very long time. I like the way she cuts my hair. But other than that, like, I don't have to think about my hair. Like, it's just not something that crosses my mind on a daily basis at all. Like, I don't have to sit there thinking like, oh, I should cover up my roots, or, oh, I shouldn't put my hair back because, you know, it shows the gray like peeking through when I have a ponytail. So I don't have to think about any of that stuff anymore. So those are my own personal pros that just really have made this such a positive experience for me. Let's talk about some cons. Now, these cons may not necessarily be your cons. It's just things that, you know, I've noticed, or things that have happened to me. Your mileage on your gray journey may vary, so keep that in mind. One of the cons is definitely, as much as some people really love my hair, some people hate it. I'm really lucky in that Craig, he doesn't care either way. Like, I could dye it neon green, wouldn't care. But there are lots of people, most on the internet, obviously having a YouTube channel, I put myself out there, and there are people that can then say anything that they want about the way that I look, or my hair, or my skin, or my teeth, or the way that I dress, whatever, the way that I talk. And there are some people that think that, again, the gray hair makes me look old. It makes me look washed out. It's gross. Some people don't believe that it is my natural hair color. Oh, there's Penny. And that I just am participating in the granny hair trend. Obviously, I'm not. I chose to do this several years ago, and, you know, it was a journey. Like, it wasn't something that I did all at once. It took some time. And even throughout the process, like, I started getting comments from people that were like, I just don't, that doesn't look good on you at all. That makes you look terrible. Why would you want to look like you're 80 years old already? Like, stuff like that. While I don't internalize that anymore, it's still kind of obnoxious to, like, read it. But I just block and delete those people. So in the end, like, it doesn't really affect me in any kind of way, but I can see where it would deter other people. And I would just encourage you, if that's something that you're afraid of, don't be, just plow ahead. Have the confidence that this is what you want to do, and just go for it. Don't let other people tell you how to dress, how to do your hair, how to do your makeup. It's nobody else's business. It's your body. You do what you want with your body. All right. One thing you may have to take into account that I did was you might have to change your makeup, and that can be a con for some people. I don't really look all that great in warm eyeshadow looks anymore. I still do them sometimes, and I still get compliments, and some people think it looks good, but I will admit that, like, now at this point, I think I look better in cooler tones. And that can be frustrating because basically everything in social media and on YouTube is like warm, rusty eyes and sunset colors, and, you know, things that aren't necessarily going with this. But luckily, there are more and more options coming out for cooler tone shadows. I talk about a lot of them. Most of the eyeshadow palettes that I haul, you know, have a fair amount of cool eyeshadows in them. So I did have to change my makeup a little bit, but I mean, makeup is makeup. You can really do whatever you want. So if you still want to rock the warm colors, do it. There are no rules, but, you know, for me, I do think I look better in cooler tones. So there's that. The transition can be tough. Whether you choose to just go cold turkey and you just grow it out, or whether you go to your stylist and have them help you a hairstylist, like mine did back in the day, can put some really nice highlights in your hair and tone them gray so that, you know, you don't have to go like the full, like you can go in, they can bleach the heck out of your hair and they can tone it and it can look great. But I wouldn't recommend going that route because it can be pretty damaging to the hair. But they can help you with just putting in maybe some like gray highlights to just help conceal that growth as it's coming in. That was my route. It worked great. It wasn't terribly expensive. I think I only went to my hairdresser once or twice to have her put the quote unquote highlights in and then tone them gray. And then after that, I just let it grow. So that was really easy for me. But you know, the transition, if you have to go cold turkey because you don't have the money to pay a stylist, can be tough. But that being said, just own it. You know, everyone at some point, most people will go gray, and it's just a part of aging, and that's fine. Aging is fine. You can do it gracefully in a multitude of ways, or if you just don't care, just don't care. It's totally up to you. The texture of your hair can potentially change. Now, I see this a lot more with people that have like, not baby fine hair like I do. So if you have curly or coarse hair, sometimes the gray hair can be even more coarse or wiry. But that being said, I feel like after you have completed the transition, you can learn to work with that new texture. Again, it can be frustrating as it grows in, but just kind of let it happen. The worst case scenario is you grow it all out and you're like, nah, turns out I don't really care for this. So color it again, not a big deal, right? But dealing with the textural changes can be frustrating. For me, my hair is still pretty silky and baby fine for the most part, but one thing that I have noticed is my hair dries out a lot faster now. My hair not having any pigment for whatever reason just allows it to lose moisture like crazy. So I use a lot of hydrating masks. I use very hydrating shampoos and conditioners. I'll put a couple of my favorites in the description box that work really well for me. So that is something to definitely think about. You might have to switch up your hair care routine. You might need to use different products. You might need to switch from using volumizing products to much more hydrating products. You might need to, you know, do different treatments to your hair to kind of help with that coarseness of the gray hair. But just learn to work with it because, you know, throughout your life, you're going to go through changes with your body and you just kind of adapt and go with everything else. So do the same with your hair. It's just a part of the process. And one more con that I wrote down here, and this is just kind of a con for me personally because I hate hearing people say these things. Not because I don't want to validate their feelings, but because I hate that this is something that is probably put into people's heads by society. Like there's people that will say to me, I wish I could grow out my hair like yours, but I can't because my gray hair is ugly. Your gray hair is the perfect shade for you. Whatever it grows in as is like, that's your gray hair. And you just go with that, which is what I did. Like, yeah, I mean, this might be a pretty gray, but like, even if it was more like peppery colored, I would still just go with it because that's what it is. So I feel like when people say to me, like, I would do it, but like, that's just really frustrating because your hair is what your hair is, you know, just go with that. People are worried that the texture changes in their hair will be super inconvenient to them. So, you know, if your gray hair is more wiry, like people are they're just not willing to work with that, which is just like, I just want to be like, go with the flow. You will figure it out. If it's something that you really want, you will figure out a different hair care routine that will help to calm that hair down. Or you'll just learn to work with it and have, you know, more coarse hair. Like it's just a part of it. My spouse won't like it. Like I've had women tell me that and it's like, why is your spouse not supporting you? I mean, that would be my question, but you know, like obviously I don't say that, but you know, women are worried about what their partners will say or what their friends will say or think. And like, don't care about that stuff. If those people are not going to support you, why are they in your life is my question. Like, I am very quick to eliminate people from my existence if they are not supportive of the choices that I make or how I want to live my life. Life's too short, people. Like, it is way too short. I am not going to surround myself with people who are going to try to take me down in any kind of way. You know, I don't expect people to do everything my way. Like, I'm not going to force my, you know, like, I don't think all my friends should go gray if they don't want to. But like, if any of my friends were like, oh God, gross, why are you doing that? They would not be my friends anymore. Because I would never say that to my friend. Like, if someone wanted to go and get a face tattoo, one of my friends, I, you know, in my head would probably be like, well, probably not a choice that I would personally make, but you know what? If this is something that you really want and you've thought about it for a long time and you really, really need this in your life, then I support you. Go and get your facial tattoo. You know, like, I just don't have people in your life that are going to bring you down. There's some solid old lady advice. It's just something that, like, over the years, like, I mean, I am no longer in contact with certain family members because they are a detriment to my personal well-being. So, family or not, if you are not a supportive person, then bye. Obviously, I'm not saying everybody should be that way, but I'm just careful with who you surround yourself with. And if someone is bringing you down, maybe think about having a conversation with them and just letting them know your feelings. And another one is, well, you look fine with gray hair, but I'm gonna look old. Like, that's just another thing where I'm like, really? Like, your hair color is not what's gonna make you look old, you know? Like, just take care of your hair and it's gonna look great, you know? Like, take the time to take care of yourself. Have a good skincare routine, you know, take the time to get up in the morning and make yourself feel good, whether that means putting on makeup or not, whether that means doing your hair or not. Like, you know, do things that make you feel pretty, whatever that is. And, you know, and the thing is, like, if it is color in your hair, if that's what makes you feel pretty, then do that. But like, don't let that be like the only thing that holds you back. It's just like worrying about being old. And again, I say, try it. Like, if you don't like it, like you know, if you go through the entire process for a couple years and you completely get rid of your old color, you cut it all off, if you're not happy with it, just color your hair again. That's the beauty of it. Like, and you can say to yourself, well, maybe I'm not ready for it at 40. Maybe I'll try again at 50, or maybe I'll wait until I'm 60, or it is just not my thing at all, and I'm going to color my hair until the day that I die. Totally up to you. So anyway, those are my pros and cons. Let me know if you have decided to go on a gray hair journey. How's it going for you? Are people being supportive? Do you have any advice for anybody? Leave it down below in the comments section. Thank you guys for supporting my journey. You guys have been amazing throughout all of this. You know, there's the occasional person that leaves a comment, but for the most part, you guys have all been super supportive, and it has made it a little bit easier on me. But that being said, even if every single one of you hated my hair, I would still do it, because you know what? I like it, and that's really all that matters, right? So anyway, thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch today. I'll see you tomorrow for Friday Favorites and Flops. And if you're not interested in that, I'll see you in a different video. Take care. Bye.